morning, everybody. I'm Suzanne Mayer, and this is my partner, Shawn Dunwoody.
Good morning.
Oh, we could try that one. We're here with Hinge neighbors. We were working together. We found we enjoyed working together on a political type of thing, and well, just knocking on doors, right?
Yeah.
And then we decided we had tea every day talking about what we were doing, and we decided, well, this is something that we really know how to do. So when a person came to a neighborhood meeting and said, look, we're going to fill in the inner loop, so you have to deal with it. So Shawn and I said, we'll deal with it. And here we are, dealing with it.
Oh, okay, I'll spring into it, okay. This is, one of the things is we our inner loop has been a moat throughout our city. You know, it was put in place, it removed neighborhoods, displaced folks, and we realized that this was a divider in our city of Rochester. So we needed to bring those neighborhoods together across that moat. You have two different social, economic, and racial breakdowns on either side of the inner loop today. So we realized there's a point in time that if we're going to create this new Rochester, you're talking about 21 acres of new. I gotta keep going.
That's how we talk.
21 acres. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm blocking you. I'm sorry. 21 acres. All right. We're talking about 21 acres of new neighborhood, a new Rochester to be created. And who better to speak about this new Rochester, this new neighborhood that's being created, I gotta come back to the frame, that's going to be created, than the residents that reside on either side of the moat. Please continue.
And that's not just the residents, but it's people who work there, people who go to school there, people who have a business there, etc. So what we are doing is to say, how do we get involved? So we went to a lot of people and we said, we have this idea that we think we could do this. And we've talked to city officials, we talked to David Gant, we talked to
we've met with many folks. I've got to speak into your microphone. This is weird and awkward this morning. This is a family program. So yeah, we've actually gone out, canvassed, met with businesses, residents, many public elected officials about the value of what this is, and they've actually been on board and really connected. The city is actually taking a step forward. It's decided to work with its chosen team. And has put together an advisory committee, and we're both on that as well, as long as believe there's 21 other folks on there.
That's a lot of it. And we've asked them to consider other people that we've met along the way, saying these people are very important and should be represented. So we have make sure that School 58, which is right on the border, is right there so they can talk about their needs, which is green space for playing fields, etc., that type of thing. We've talked to the business people. We've brought them together. We've done a lot of walking around the streets to find the businesses that are already in the neighborhood. We had over 100 businesses, if you can believe it, in this section, and knocking on doors saying, here, come together and talk to us. So we had our first meeting. We had about 25 people. 25 businesses coming together to talk about what are their hot topics about this infill. What do we do about it? And how do we get our voice heard by those that are going to be designing this thing? You might ask, why are you doing this when you don't have the money to do this process? And it is important to be involved in the feasibility study. The feasibility study decides what's going to be there, what the road structure looks like. And so it's very important for neighborhoods to be involved. And what we're trying to do is empower people to have a voice and work with people so that voices are heard. And then when they meet with the consultants, they have a really good idea. We don't spend a lot of time venting.
No, I just want to know, do people know what we're even talking about? I know we're just saying things. Does anyone know what the inner loop is? Anyone doesn't know what the inner loop is? It's a moat. It's a moat. There we go. All right. It's not a physical moat. I can tell you it's not filled with water quite yet.
But it might be.
But it might be. We might have a canal back in the city of Rochester. We'll be boating everywhere. But our focus area of Hinge neighbors, we're really looking at the areas of North Street to Union Street, to Lewis Street, and to East Avenue. We looked at the same footprint on either side of the inner loop. So these are the residents, the businesses that we are, can you hear me on there? That we're reaching out to. We want to make sure that those voices are heard. And their plan can be a bit more expansive, but we knew we needed to have a direct footprint or a direct mark where we can actually achieve this and literally bring folks together. So there's some exciting events that will be coming up, and we'd love to have you folks part of that. We've got I'm going to say it, because if I don't say it, it won't happen. We've got a great idea. We've actually talked briefly with the city about this and directing this. We want to be able to, the Sile Street Bridge, which is one of the ugliest bridges. If you walk these things, it feels like you're going to fall through the bridge. If you've looked at the roads, the sidewalks are terrible, the road looks scary. I'm like, oh my God, this car's going to fall into the bottom. So we're looking at really a way to physically bring neighbors together, shut down our bridge, and have dinner on the bridge, and literally talk with one another and meet one another and have an engagement and say, we're 200 feet apart. We can help to shape our neighborhood. We'll turn it back over to you.
So what do we want from you? Well, we want you to do a couple things. We want you to go to our website, which is hingeneighbors.com. We want you to take a survey that's there. Why would we want you to take a survey? We hope that those of you, especially living in the 14605, would do such a thing, talking about what is our attitude about our neighborhood at this point in time. If we work there, if we walk there, anything like that. We want you to also go to Hinge 101. We just launched this. What this is really talking about things that you'll hear at a consultant meeting. When you go in, they're going to be using language that you don't normally hear, such as what is an amenity? What is zoning? Who controls the zoning? Why is it important, etc. So if you would like to go there, we would love your feedback. Also, so go to our Hinge 101, take our survey, and also what we want to have is collaboration. So if any of you have an idea, we'd love to hear it. If you have a course that you teach, we'd love to hear that. If you're doing financial work with people, we'd like to do that, because we want to be able to put, links. If you need help on this, a business plan, here's who you might contact, et cetera, because that's what we want to do, is really activate our neighborhoods.
Yes, that's what we're asking for. I know you're coming up to push us off stage.
Thank you.
And we thank you for your time.
Thank
All
you.
right?
Okay.
Good morning.